Hey, you're hanging out in the Link Up Lounge. I'm Tiffany Mason.
And I'm Donna Ruppel. Around here, we believe success isn't just about what you know, it's about who you link up with. This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Donna, it blows my mind that the two of us have over 30 years of combined networking experience.
I know! We've built businesses, expanded networks, and created unstoppable momentum, all through the power of strategic connections.
AKA networking. And now we're here to guide you to do the same, starting today.
So let's dive in, connect, and start making moves you didn't even know were possible. Welcome back to the Link Up Lounge. I'm Donna Ruppel, your Nocatee real estate expert, here with my co-host, Tiffany Mason of Virtually You, the boutique podcast management agency.
This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities. And what better time than now to get intentional about how you're showing up this year? Today, we're talking about networking resolutions that actually work and how to stick to them.
Okay, who wrote network more at the top of your vision board? Unless you know what that looks like week to week, it's not a resolution, it's a wish.
We're helping you turn those vague goals into specific, achievable commitments that help you build better relationships and grow your business.
So let's start here. Most networking resolutions fail because they are either too big or too vague, right? Like, how many of you said, I want to go to more events, or I want to get more referrals, or I need to build my network this year? So the question is really, when you say go to more events, like, how many events do you want to go to in a week or a month? Get more referrals? From who? And I would challenge you on that one too. Get more referrals is not really something within your control. The activity creating those referrals is in your control, but getting the referrals really isn't in your control. So maybe that's not the best metric. Maybe we should look at the activity that creates those referrals. Build your network in what way? What referral partners specifically are you looking for?
Well, I think what you're talking about, or the things that I'm hearing from what you're saying, is kind of like the SMART goals, which me personally, I hate the SMART goals because I don't know. I guess maybe I just don't like having rules. I don't know. But I hear you saying specific, which is the S, because we're talking about how many or who or what that activity is. Measurable, if we know that it's 4, then we know, okay, if we only got 3, we need to do a little bit more. Or if we got 7, like pat yourself on the back. And then attainable, when we are looking at these things, the metrics that you're speaking about, is it even possible? Like, don't set don't set
Right.
these unrealistic goals. When you say you want to, network more, okay, well, what does that mean? And are you thinking about it realistically? And then time bound, I think it's good. Are we looking at January? Are we looking at the first quarter? Again, what are the metrics? How are we measuring this network more? So we're going to talk about how to frame those goals into specific actions, like attending 1 new event per month, asking for 2 introductions in quarter 1, and following up with like 5 people weekly. Like, these are a little bit more specific.
Yes. Here are 3 resolutions that work because they're rooted in action. One thing that I always think about when I'm setting goals of any kind, and specifically in something like this, is the goal should be based on activity that you're in control of. If you're not in control of it, then how can it be one of your goals? So if it's something like, I want to get 10 referrals from my networking group, then you need to back that up into, how are you going to get those referrals? What action are you going to do? What action are you in control of? And what are you going to accomplish to facilitate getting those? That's kind of what you really need to focus on. So resolutions that work because they're rooted in action.
Yes, I think that you're right in saying that, like, things that you're in control of.
It's easier to measure those goals too, the ones that you're in control of the activity leading up to it. So 3 resolutions that work. Number 1, consistency over intensity. Pick one simple networking habit and do it every single week. Coffee chats, DMs, thank you notes, whatever keeps you visible and valuable. Pick one, do it every week. Number 2, value first connections. So make a habit of offering help before asking for anything. Refer someone, share a resource, or promote a peer's post. build goodwill before you ask something. Number 3, track and reflect. So keep a simple tracker. I mean, how many people have said, attract number grows? Have you heard that? Or,
I have not.
Really? Attract number grows.
Attract.
Meaning that if you're tracking
Attract.
something, it's
Oh my
going
gosh,
to get
I thought it was like
attention. It's going to grow.
attract, like that person is attractive. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
attract numbers grow. I'm like, I don't understand. Okay. If you
No.
track the numbers,
Right,
when you're
it will
tracking them,
grow.
they grow. Got it.
Yes. So
Okay, write that down, people.
you've got to track. If you have a new goal and you're not tracking, you're not going to make it. Sorry. That's a reality. If you have a goal that is actually meaningful to you, you have to track the activity that's going to lead you to the goal. And one thing I love to do is, breaking down your goal into those trackable moments. So if you say, I want to network more, and we say, what do you mean by that? And you say, okay, I want to attend a new event every month. Okay. I think attend a new event every week is a little much. Might be difficult, but I want to attend a new event every month. Then I'm like, okay, great. So then what I would think of is, make a chart of January through December and make sure that you check off every time you attend a new event so that you're doing it every single month. Because then by December, you're not going to miss that event, right? If you've made all these tracks along the way, you're going to go. And then at the end of the year, you're going to feel so proud of yourself because you did add a new event every single month. But if you don't track it, you're not going to know. You're not going to have that feeling of pride. You're not going to have that feeling of accomplishment, and those little things, especially as an entrepreneur, when you track a goal and you reach it, like that's the reward, man, that you're going for, So you got to keep a simple tracker, whatever it is. And if you're talking about tracking networking, leads, connections, those kind of things, maybe you have a spreadsheet of who you met, how you followed up, what resulted. Patterns will emerge and so will progress. Attract number grows.
Well, I think too, if you're tracking it, then you can go, okay, when I attended this event last time, it was very fruitful. And then you go, oh, that one was like kind of weird and the people didn't really talk to each other. And I don't want to attend that event again. I want to go to this group's events,
Yes.
So I think that there's value in that too. And I think touching on your first point about consistency over intensity, it's like when you want to lose weight. And I only use that example so often because I feel like as women, we're always trying to lose weight. So
it's a common goal that we all experience.
It's a common goal. There's 3 goals that everyone sets, or 3 resolutions that everyone sets at the beginning of the year: to get out of debt, to lose weight, and I can't remember the third one. But anyways, of the top 3, it's always there. So it feels like it's something we can all relate to. Anyhow, you can't say like, I'm going to eat healthy every single meal and go to the gym and drink more water. No, we need to stack these habits and give yourself a little grace. So if it's network more and, you gave a couple of examples, maybe it's just, you're going to get really intentional about just having coffee with people. You're going to have some coffee dates and, your goal is going to be once a week and that's it. You don't focus on all the other ones, you guys. Once you have coffee chats down, now if you want to add something to the mix, go ahead. Or if you find that's not working, now is when you change it for, okay, I'm going to start DMing people instead. So I think there's a lot of value in that. All those things that you mentioned work because they're based in relationships, not results. I think it's so imperative because networking should be reciprocal. Right. And so if we're in a relationship, we're fostering that relationship, learning more about each other, supporting each other, reposting things about things that are going on in their business. And it's not results. What did that person buy from me? How many referrals did that person give me? No. When you focus on service, consistency, and clarity, the results take care of themselves. So I just posted on our Bond and Beyond Facebook page, network marketing is like buying a gym membership. The people who show up consistently get the results. And I think that that is the key: consistency and tracking those results and investing in other people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't need to have a long list of goals, right? You just need one solid plan you can actually stick to. Because the more you add to it, it might sound exciting as you're making this list, but in reality, it's not going to get implemented and you're going to feel like a failure, right? You're just going to feel like you're not doing what you said you were going to do. And that's not the positive reinforcement that you want in your business. So you've got to set a solid one goal, make a solid plan that you can actually stick to.
I edit a podcast and this lady talks about goals and projects and all these things like of all aspects of our life. Okay. So if you are trying to lose weight, you've got the, drink more water. Okay. And then if you're doing something with your kids, it's like, okay, every day after school, I'm going to make them a healthy snack. Okay. So that's another thing. And then you really only have room in anybody's bandwidth to implement 3 things at one time. So when it comes to your business, that's why we pick one thing, because everything else in life is also demanding our attention. So that's why we want you to give yourself a little grace, why we want you to pick one thing. And that is why this resolution will actually work if you're just focused on one thing. And the best part, it is not too late to start. So we've passed January 1st. There's no need to panic or worry, just a fresh networking rhythm that you can start this week. So if you're finding this episode in February, if you're finding it in June, anytime is a great time to start this new habit.
Yes, it's never too late to start. Absolutely. But figuring out what is the most important thing of your goal and then breaking that down, super important. Now, if you have other things that come off of it that you can add to positive behaviors, like in your analogy of weight loss, like maybe your original goal is drink more water, but then you decide you feel pretty good about that. You're drinking a lot of water. You got that habit down. Now I want to add on, movement every day. And then you start adding that in. Like, we're not saying you can't do that. Of course you can do that. But what we're saying is when you're starting with new habits or new focus on one thing and really, really feel like you've got that down and you've got that habit in place before you start adding on other things. Because networking in a business is a long-term process.
Yes.
It's building relationships, it's exposing yourself to new people, it's following up with people. It is a long game. And so you need to find a piece of it that you feel you could do better and track that activity.
Yeah, I think to add to that, you're saying if you have all these things that you want to do, maybe just do a brain dump of all the things that you think would help your business and then prioritize those. And then you say, okay, you know what? I need to network. I need to post on social media. I need to reach out to people. And like all of a sudden, there's this mountain of things that you need to do. Just look at those things, narrow them down. What activity is going to lead to the sales that you need? What activity is going to lead to the conversations you need to have? Think about that. I know that there's one person in one of our networking groups, and right now she's under a lot of pressure from her business to get more sales, a specific type of sales. And so, I would think to myself, okay, if I need business to business right now more than I need business to consumer, what rooms do I need to be in for those kind of relationships versus the kind of relationships that build business to consumer? So be mindful of that. And then, like you said, track it, be consistent, all the good things.
Yeah. And one thing that you said that I wanted to expand on is your brain dump. I love that idea. Brain dump. What do you think you need to do for your business? But then the other thing I like to do is look at the customers you got last year and where did they come from? Did they come from your social media? Did they come from your networking connections, like a referral? Did they come from an, marketing campaign that you have, some sort of other advertisement, past customer referral? Where did they come from? And, you might have 35% came from here and 50% came from here and 5% came from here. And the reason that I like to look at those numbers is because, a lot of times I feel like in this day and age, we're doing a lot of, I have to spend more time on my social media. I've got to do better about posting and making reels and spending all this time, energy, mental energy on social media. And really, when you look at these numbers that I just asked you to look at, did you get any customers off of social media? Like any of them? And some businesses do. Some businesses get all of them on social media, in which case I would say, spend all your time on social media because that's, doing your business, right? But for me personally, I don't get any off of social media. And so I don't prioritize my social media a lot because I don't get any customers from my social media. I get my customers from referrals, from networking, from building relationships, and from past customers. And so for me, that's where I want to spend my time, energy, and effort, right? But you've got to run those numbers, because if your numbers come back differently and there may be heavy customers from social media, you got to spend more time on social media, maybe less time out networking and coffee chatting with people. So you got to really know where your business is coming from and then put that appropriate effort into that funnel.
I think you make some great points that social media, for me, serves the same purpose. It's almost just like, yes, my business exists. Yes, it's legitimate. And yes, I'm a real person. Like that. That's kind
Right.
of what it's proving for me. I get a lot of my from referrals. And I think another great point that you made was take the pressure off yourself. If you're not getting leads from social media, you can take a little pressure off yourself. Or if you're
Yeah.
not getting leads from these, I'm going to say something, but then I will spin it better. You're taking all these like time-sucking coffee chats, right? Like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I lose all control of time when I'm with somebody and we're having a great conversation. Before I know it, 2 hours have passed and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that was so irresponsible. I needed to do so many other different things. So I do set a timer now when I go meet with people. But if you're feeling that way and you're not getting results from it, then you don't have to do that activity anymore, or just do it less.
Yeah, just do it
Put less priority on it. So I think the last thing that I want to say is that if you are tracking, then you can do what you mentioned first. You can look back and say, how did this event pay off for me? But if you're not tracking, then you don't know. And, like something I do with my planner is I always make sure I have fun built into my life. So this was a tip I got a long time ago in my planner. I highlight it in yellow. And then when I look back at every month, I'm like, okay, I did do something fun. I did do something for my soul, each month. I didn't just sit at my desk and work. And that's been really good for me, a good eye opener. But it could be the same thing for you, where you look back on your networking efforts and go, that was a really good event. That is a group that really puts on good events. I want to attend more of their things, or I guess I don't need to do very much social media because I'm not getting business from it anyway. Like, it's more just social proof that I exist and I'm legitimate and it's not a scam. So I think there's a lot of good nuggets from this episode that y'all can take away to make sure that your resolutions stick this year, or resolution, because we're really telling you to pick one thing for a month or a quarter, whatever you determine, but just one thing to focus on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, this week's networking mode on tip is choose one of 3 resolutions that we mentioned: consistency, connections, and tracking, and commit to it for the next 30 days. Put it on your calendar, track it, and see what results. Networking mode on.
Send us a quick text using the link in the show notes and tell us which resolution you're going to try first. We want to support your goals. Let's keep building those powerful links together. You've been hanging out in the Link Up Lounge, your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Now it's your turn. Go make a powerful link today.
Networking mode on.